All right, time for a little garden update. What you need to remember is most everything in this garden went in on March 13th. We are now at April 28th, so it's about 6 weeks. So I feel very good about the garden, so does the gardener, but I'm gonna flip the camera and show you some of this stuff. So remember, March 13th, most of this stuff went in the ground. Now, with the exception of the carrots, which went in a week earlier than that from seed, and the cucumbers, which we started sowing inside on February 24th, and then we transplanted into the garden on March 13th with the sprouts. All right, lots of green going on here, but here we go. So we've got spaghetti squash here that went in from seed. We've got 4 Roma tomato plants, and I don't know if you can see, let's see here if I can find them, but we've got some Roma tomatoes right here. You can see those. 4 Roma tomato plants. Did my best to keep them pruned down low for airflow. And just remember this, the leaves, only the top leaves are what are gonna produce energy, if you will, for your tomato plant. So just think of them as a, like a solar gatherer. So that's what they are. Any lower leaves are just going to suck up that energy that they gather. But my 2 beefsteak tomato plants over here, you can see we got tomatoes in there. We got a few tomatoes going on here and there. So very happy with those. Let me scoop my way back around here, and you'll see we've got some flowers and some buds on the spaghetti squash. So we've learned quite a lot about squash. I'll get to the other summer squash here in a minute, but there's our cucumbers that we grew from seed inside, and you can see they're flowering. I've made a janky homemade trellis here to get the leaves up off the ground, because we don't want leaves on the ground, because leaves touching dirt can lead to disease. So there we go. I got my one little windmill there to help keep birds and stuff away. But yeah, they're vining out everywhere. It's amazing to me how they will attach and pull themselves up on stuff. But here is jalapeno plant number 1, and you can see we've got some flowers right there. I pulled the first set of flowers and buds off of them because that's what you're supposed to do. I have to keep pruning back the squash because they are literally blanking out the sun. But there's our summer squash. You can see this. Okay, we've got more flowers down here, more squash down here. We've got another spaghetti squash over here that's running wild. They're now running out into the yard, which I'm fine with. And then here's our carrots, and you can see our carrots are healthy and strong. I weeded them out. When I say I weeded them, I thinned them, and they keep on growing. So that's our update for now. Looks like we're gonna have a lot of squash. The strawberries, I'm just gonna admit to the strawberries strawberries aren't cutting it and probably aren't gonna make it. You can see that middle plant is dying. This one over here seems to be the one that's thriving, which is being shaded by the cucumbers. So I don't know, maybe next time strawberries, you probably have to get your own bed. But again, most of this stuff went in around March 13th, March 14th. So we are 6 weeks in right now, and it is thriving. We've had some good rain here in central Texas. So you can refer back to my cucumber video from a couple weeks ago. I was really worried because we had 2 cold nights, and all of a sudden my leaves were white and crumbly, and I had to take a trip over to the nursery to ask the professionals, and they gave me the skinny, they gave me the what's up. And these tomatoes, when we bought these tomato plants, they were about 12 inches tall, and you can see now, let me back up for you a little bit, they're chest high now. So feeling very good about this. Want to see some blooms come out on the spaghetti squash like we're seeing on the summer squash here. I think it might take a little longer. I got to read up on that, but I didn't know this. If you don't know this, your squash, when they have blooms on them, the male flowers are yellow and the female flowers, the male flowers are white and the female flowers are yellow. So the female flowers are the ones that are going to produce your vegetable, and the male flower is just there to help pollinate, and then it just falls off and shrivels up. So anyway, if we can get way down in here, I'll show you underneath here with the squash. You can see all the buds that are going on there. I don't want to disturb it too much. You can see what's going on over here. We got more squash. And come on, pepper plants. Those pepper plants, I worry about them, but they were literally about 4 inches tall when we planted them. So that's our update. Hopefully we're gonna see some cucumbers here shortly. Let me get the windmill out of the way there so you can see. But airflow is everything underneath your cucumbers, from everything that I read. Underneath your cucumbers and underneath your tomato plants to help keep disease away. Let me get my fat finger out of the way there, but yeah, it's an update. That's our garden in the background. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let's get a thumbs up and we'll catch you on the next one.